as being tall and masculine, but shit, I'm a Cancer. Like I feel shit. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. Like I think that's what gets misunderstood. My mom is my hero. I mean, I like a lot of people, but my mother is super amazing. I don't give her enough credit. She's my shero, my hero, all of that. So got to get that to mom. I can't put nobody above her. Afraid of? I don't know. Probably leaving this world. You know, I think that's what I'm afraid of. But let me think of something. I don't know, man. I'm not usually I just keep it 100 with you. I'm not usually afraid of things, but I think probably leaving here before my work is done, you know, leaving the earth, you know, I think that's probably a fear, but I don't even really consider that a fear. I think I became interested in abolition around 2006, 2007. Once I knew it as a framework, I was all excited about it because I just knew we weren't supposed to live in a world where we got cages and people got to go to those cages when they've done something wrong. So I'm like, it just never felt right to me. So I think at heart, I've always been like a revolutionary activist. People know me as that as a kid. So I think it's always been in me. I think it became more formal when I started learning restorative justice. That's when it became real. I still don't know if I'm interested. I mean, I do it for the sake of me and Andre, but he really into the fashion industry. That ain't really my industry, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with it all like by way of him. Like if it's like, yeah, we're gonna change the color, or we're gonna do this and match this, you know, I'm for it, but I'm still not like a fashion person, you know what I'm saying? But all the stuff I do on the fashion side is me just collaborating with my mans on it. So I just want to say that about the fashion piece. I'm still not technically like a fashion type of person. I'm not there yet. Prison abolition is important because the prisons don't solve our problems. You know, they don't provide the solutions we need. People come home from prison and they like worse off than when they went in. We shouldn't have a system like that. So prison abolition means we can dream of solutions that just doesn't involve like putting people in inhumane situations. We need to put people in situations where they're gonna be better and they're gonna treat people with love. You can't just throw somebody off the map for a couple years. Probably that, you know, I'm like really an emotional person. Like I think people like see me as being tall and masculine, but shit, I'm a Cancer. Like I feel shit, you know what I'm saying? Like straight up, like I think that's what gets misunderstood. I think people when they see me, they just like, man, I'm just this strong, you know, masculine person. But it's like, shit, I got emotions like other people too. So I think that's what gets misunderstood, that I can just like, you know, get my emotions out of the way and just keep on going. It's like, no, I feel stuff too. I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel things that other people feel, but I don't think people think that of me when they look at me. Thing I can see is more Black youth being supported in a major way. I think if nothing else, we want people to have more backing. You know, I think we doing this for all our young hitters, man. It's like here in Minnesota, everybody know I got 50, 60 young Black folks that I throw my energy, my time, my everything to make sure they succeed. So I think best case scenario, man, we see a lot of dope-ass entrepreneurs, man. People running their businesses, running the country, standing bold, standing firm for Black lives, man. That's the goal, where we pushing the needle a lot further than we really thought we would push. You know, that's what I want to get to, where we got, books and educational tools, but at the same time, man, we got a lot more Black leaders than we thought we could have. That's the best case scenario. Because we're going to have about 250 new Black leaders when we done. But at the same time, I think we can reach 500 or even 1,000. I learned that it was designed to break you. You know what I mean? Like, I just learned I could deal with it. I'm glad I learned some resilience. You know, I'm grateful that I can persevere through that, because I think before prison, that was my fear. Like, back to your other question, I think that was my fear. I think I feared prison first, but when I was going through it, I'm like, man, if somebody else got through it, I can too. But it made me realize that system is only meant to break you. I saw people lose their mind on that. Like, It's people who, like, when I saw them losing their mind, I thought I could lose my mind too. So let me figure out how to keep my sanity. That's what got me through it. I learned it's really just to torture you. That's it. They just want to harm you. They just want to harm you. For real. Like, people don't leave prison and do well in most cases. Usually they go back. That's how it's designed. So that was the biggest lesson I learned. It's to break you. It limited my opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, having felonies on your record, it definitely don't make people see the best in you. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the worst thing, and I just never understood that. I'm like, I gotta feel this out, and you gotta do a background check before you even meet me. I'm like, man, I'm doomed. You know, so all you're gonna see is first degree pistol, first degree possession of drugs. Like, that's the highest you can go as far as the statute. So I just think, man, they put me in a box that wasn't my box, man. I just kept saying, like, no, I got too much to give, man. I don't understand how I'm supposed to make $10 an hour and feel good about myself. You know, probably the success of Humanize my Hoodie. I think, like, I don't think me and Andre saw all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't. Man, I know we did see. Like, we knew we would do well. We knew it'd have some energy. I think that fucking shocked us, man. The fact that, man, I mean, when John Legend shouted us out, and, like, I mean, New York Fashion Week, I think that's the biggest surprise in all of this shit. The level of diversity we have, the flexibility, how we could be around, you know, major labels or be in spaces with models and runway stuff, but then we in college campuses and shit. I think we pretty shocked at the way we've moved, like, different institutions. Restaurants are different now. Like, we've changed a lot of things. So I think that's the biggest surprise in all of this, the impact, you know, that we've had. We knew we'd change minds. We knew we would accomplish a lot of things, but we didn't necessarily see the documentary in the cards. We didn't necessarily see the book in the cards, but I think we just really fulfilling all our dreams, man. I never forget how we just jumped in this shit. Like, come on, man. We had an idea, and then 3 weeks later, we putting all our energy into it, and we telling people about it. I think that's just something I'll never forget, because it's like August 21st is when the post was made. September 9th, we did all this business stuff really quickly. Business lawyer, got our stuff solidified as far as the numbers and all of that stuff. Then we got it on our body. He at New York Fashion Week, I'm in the class. I'll never forget how fast, like we dived into it and didn't even put much thinking into it. We just said, hey, I trust you, you trust me. Let's just go ahead and move on it. Man, that's something I'm never going to forget. When I was 13, I lived on 52nd and Drexel. Fucked up neighborhood, but by that time, people knew I played basketball. I started playing when I was 10 on the South Side, and I got pretty good. By the time I was 13, I was really good. But I wasn't picked up for a summer league. So I moved on 52nd and Drexel. People knew me, but they really didn't know me because I was from 67. So they was like, man, you got to miss the YVI tournament. Now, the YVI tournament in Chicago is at Kenwood High School. It's a big-ass deal, you know what I mean? Like, everybody played, celebrities come to it, all that shit. I moved in the neighborhood too late, but people said, hey, man, you cold. Why don't we throw you on a team? I'm like, whew. My first game, my aunt came to the game. Her name Tina, man. Love Tina to death. She came to the game. This is my first game with this new team, man. It's about to be the playoffs. I get in the game. I have a good game. The coach says, I want you to take the last shot. We down 2 points. I want you to shoot a 3-pointer. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. And this is a hard play to run. Like, I got to run from one side of the court to the other side of the court, set my feet, and shoot it. And it's windy in Chicago. It's summer, but we close to Lake Michigan. We're about 7-8 blocks off Lake Michigan, so it's windy. Man, ran the play. I got in the corner. I hit that shot, man. 53 to 52. Nick Anderson was there. He played for the Orlando Magic. He wanted to sign my jersey. Everybody was lifting me up. I was dancing on the court. It was a vibe, man. So I think that's one of my best childhood memories, man. I don't know, maybe if I see my kid in the street and I see a car coming, some shit like that. I mean, but even in those moments, nervous is not what I do. Like, I'm always thinking solutions, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even allow myself to feel nervous energy. Like, when we're in terrible situations, I'm always thinking, damn, how do I address this? I might feel something, but my mind always thinks, hey, if you don't really handle this situation, somebody could get fucked up. So nervous is not something I really get. Maybe if something was planned and I know it's going to be some drama at it, maybe I get nervous about some shit like that, but I ain't usually nervous. I'm usually, hey, let's go try this out. If it don't work, let's tighten it up, you know? Definitely my biggest regret is selling drugs at a young age, man. Like, I regret that shit, like, to my core. Like, if I can go back and change that, man, I would not have started selling drugs, man. And, you know, my orientation into gang life is different from other people. The gang allowed me to sell drugs before I was in the gang. And most people don't get that opportunity. So, you know, when I was 13, 14, that's when I started, you know, trying to chase money. And I think if I could go back and really just, I don't know, I like to believe that if I could just, like, be more patient and just stayed in my books, that it would have been better. But my ego was fucked up knowing I couldn't put nothing on the table. Because there was people 14 years old in Chicago with cars, money, got the juice, got all of that. And I'm like, shit, you ain't better than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get this money so I can shine. And I wish I could go back and just find the patience, because it hurt my mother more than anything. You know, she didn't want to be embarrassed by having a son who was a drug dealer. You know, so that's my biggest regret right there. I take that back. Relationships, you know, what I'm doing with my life, you know, all of that shit is really important. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really intentional about, you know, doing something different and moving the culture. Like, I'm very intent on that, you know, like getting equity, you know, like all of that stuff is really important. So I think, you know, family first, then on top of that is impact, man. It's like, I want to leave here knowing I left this shit better than the way I got it. I don't know. Sometimes when I'm in hella revolutionary mode, I say it's time to stop. You know, I use Malcolm X. It's time to stop singing and it's time to start swinging.
Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Like a lot of people know, I quote Malcolm X in that line a lot when it feel like white supremacy feel like they can just do what they want. I always say, man, treat them well. So I be saying, like, I got a lot of